me see if this thing's on. I don't know if it's showing up or not. Whatever, we'll just go with it. Okay, let's see. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Explosive Demon here, and wow, it's been a while since I actually uploaded a video with live commentary, right? Well, the good news is I actually got a new microphone recently that I can now start recording commentary for you guys. So, what we are going to talk about today is, obviously, for those of you Uncharted players out there, if you haven't noticed, there is a new patch just came out today, and obviously, if you can't tell by the menus over on the screen there, co-op is now officially returned to the Uncharted. And it's technically called survival mode because it's technically a horde mode that you can actually play with two of your friends, just like in the old Uncharted games. But for this time, you can actually play by yourself if you so wish to, and but you will have a NPC buddy with you to help you out, just to make it so it sounds like freaking co-op. But what this video is going to be also about is to address patch 1.18 and see what kind of changes they made. So let's get started. So first off, we're going to cover some multiplayer shenanigans. We want to get that out of the way before we address co-op, because that's going to be the meat of this patch, obviously. So let's check out some of the stuff that they added. So they added 2 new maps. One is Prison, and the other one is called Trainwreck. Now, for those of you who have played the Uncharted 2 multiplayer, will probably recognize Trainwreck, because that is one of the maps in Uncharted 2, obviously. Prison is a brand new map. It's in the Uncharted 4 story. It takes place in the Uncharted 4 story, so spoiler alert. But the prison is, if you didn't know, that is where in the very beginning, where Nate and Sam were actually held captive in the prison. That was in chapter 2 or 3, somewhere around there. I haven't played the story in a while, so I can't exactly remember. So that's a new map, and in terms of game types, they also added a new beta test mode. It is King of the Hill, so by the title, it's basically capture one single hill and then control it to earn points. And if there are a lot of people in the hill, you get more points and you earn them faster. Obviously, that's the point of King of the Hill. So I can't wait to play that. That's going to be pretty interesting. I don't know what happened to classic mode, because I guess they didn't put it in this patch, but hopefully I will do it some other time. I don't know why they keep doing like these beta tests though. It's kind of awkward. Let's see, anything else? There are 5 new guns. There are more weapons in this game, if you can believe it or not. So let's see, where are they? Yes, here they are. It is the Micro 9mm and the Para 9. Now, for those of you who played the old Uncharted games, if those names sound familiar to you, that is because they were in the previous Uncharted games. So the Micro 9mm obviously was the machine pistol in the Uncharted 2 or 3, somewhere around there. It might be in both. But it's the old one, and in this game, it was replaced by the FASA R81. That's the default machine pistol that you can get in this game. So that's one. The other one is the Para 9 pistol. That is the pistol that is in Uncharted 2 or 3, I can't exactly remember. It's in one of those 2 games, but it makes its return. For the long guns, we get the M4, one of my personal favorites back in the Uncharted 2 days. I used this gun a lot, so I can't wait to see what this thing will bring to the table. Hopefully it distinguishes itself from apart the other assault rifles that makes it unique. So, and then we have the Pack 80. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Pack 80 is, it was basically a giant it was a giant LMG gun that some of the bosses in the old Uncharted games used to use for like usually brutes used it or guys that have a lot of freaking armor on. So, and I thought that was a power weapon back in the day, but now it's just a regular old gun that everyone can use. So that's gonna be very interesting. I'll definitely check it out and see how that is actually going to work. Like that's very interesting. And the last gun is another heavy weapon. It is the Desert 5, so the Desert Eagle makes its return. Now, obviously, from what I saw in the gameplay from this video, it is not like the old Desert Eagle back in the day, because the old Desert Eagle is the same thing as the Barak 44 in this game. It's basically, it was like a Magnum pistol essentially. So looks like this one has a decent fire rate, a semi-automatic pistol, and it has 10 bullets in it apparently. So that's pretty weird, but I guess they had to do something new, because if they just put the old Desert Eagle in, it's just pretty much the same as the Barak 44. So they have to do something about that. But that's all the things there. Let's see what else they added. Obviously, new vanity items, and I forgot to mention, if you go to the customization menu now, well, obviously there's new skins, but for some characters, there are now skeleton skins for you to see, which is pretty freaking hilarious. Because some of you on the Uncharted forums have been asking for skeleton skins, but I guess this is the best that we can actually do, I suppose, so I honestly don't complain, because I don't use skeletons back in the old Uncharted games, so for those of you who like that, the only way to unlock them is to play through a shit ton of co-op, so that's gonna be absolutely fun to see. What else? What else is there? Oh, now for your old skins now, notice how on the bottom left corner of the screen, you can actually now change the color of the screen there. Change the color of your skin, which is pretty nice. Now, obviously, in order to get the other colors, you have to actually get the original skin from it first. But they cost 100 points, which is pretty interesting. Because for those of you who don't like microtransactions, you're probably gonna be irate about this, but hey, it's there for a reason. And Naughty Dog just loves their microtransactions, so obviously there's a couple new taunts as usual, and some of them are actually pretty freaking hilarious. I like this coin flip one. If only someone, I swear, if there was like a Two-Face skin, I would definitely get that taunt, because that would be the absolute perfect taunt if that was the case. Let's see, what else? For the challenges, now notice how there are new types of challenges now, because now there's multiplayer only, because that is your set preference, or you can either do survival only, so you will only get new challenges from when you're playing co-op. Survival and multiplayer is obviously a hybrid mix of the others. And I know some of you guys are leaving comments. Let me actually try to find where I can access those real quick, because I know some of you actually like seeing this. Let me be back in just a second. Where are the frickin' freakzoids? Sorry about this, guys, but they're just a ton of stuff that I need to go over from this patch because this patch is freaking huge. So. Let me see here. Just give me 1 second here. There we go. I think I got it this time. Hey, what's up, clown? So the VIPs, what that means is if you ever purchased any microtransaction points, you get a VIP. So that just means that you get a gigantic amount of bonus relics. So let's look at the challenges real quick. Now, originally there were 450 relics if I remember correctly. If you do this one challenge with the mines, but now that you have the VIP bonus, you get a 20% bonus into your challenges and any relics you earn during all the matches that you play. So that's kind of nice. So if I go back to my notes real quick. There are new levels now. There is a new level cap. It is now level 90. So if you go to the customization real quick. Where's it? So now, yep, there is a level 90 now. It looks like a freaking diamond from what I can see. So for those of you who've been playing a shit ton of this game, and that is not me, you will get brand new skeleton skulls for your head. So for those of you who actually like that kind of thing, I probably will never reach that because I have a crap load of games to play still. But since the fact that this giant patch just got released, I still have to cover it. So, new weapon skins, obviously, but I'm not really gonna show those because those are just for your personal preference. Let's see here. There are new trophies also for co-op. So for those of you trophy hunters like myself, I'm gonna be pretty happy about that. Now, if you go into the multiplayer store, there is now a multiplayer store and a survivor mode store, which is pretty interesting. There's obviously new skins and guns. Hold on just a second. Let me just boot this guy real quick. Probably should just set this offline, but whatever. There are obviously new weapons, so more hero weapons for you. Let's see, what else? They've reduced the prices for some of the other ones. Bro, I am streaming, so can you please get off? There are also new weapons, so that means there are more hero weapons. And now, the DLC Vanity chest is actually reduced to only 300 relics. I think it was 2,000 or something like that. It was like that previously, so that was a pretty drastic price reduction there. Premium Vanities is only 1,500. That's obviously decreased. I don't know how much the DLC gameplay costs because I pretty much bought all the guns already. And now you can actually purchase chests for microtransaction points, so that's pretty interesting. No new boosters for those of you who are wondering. So I think that's all of the competitive stuff that I can cover because the rest of the things I think are now... Let me just go through my notes real quick so I don't miss anything here. Ah, yes, more about the VIP bonus. So I'm gonna go off my notes here. So it says here, purchasing any Uncharted points pack now avoids VIP status, which gives you a permanent 20% bonus like I mentioned. So all relics are from challenges within Uncharted 4. Anyone who previously purchased an Uncharted Plus will also have a VIP bonus. So if you happen to have 0 points, but you've purchased Uncharted points before, you still get the VIP status. Any Uncharted packs over 300 Uncharted points now comes with a set of one-use relic boosters. Relic boosters give you a 300% increase to the relics earned from completing a multiplayer match, plus a stacked sharing bonus for all players in the match receive. The more players activate a booster in the match, the bigger the reward for everyone. So that's kind of like the thing they did in Rainbow Six Siege, where there's like a booster for all of the points that you can get, and if everyone has a booster, everybody will get a shit ton of points at the end of the match. So that's kind of the system that they did there. So now all multiplayer matches now over 15 relics, regardless of win or loss. So back in the day, if you win a match, you get 20, and if you lost one, you get 10. So I guess they sort of balanced it out, sort of. So, but I still want to prefer you getting rewarded if you win a match. After all, like promoting winning is like a thing. So, just some balancing and bug fixes next. Just nothing too major or anything. So let's go over the new map and the new weapons now. Can't wait to show that off. That's gonna be awesome to see. We'll go over the prison map first. And we're gonna show off the new guns that were just released. So let's see how they look, and how they operate. Because it's very interesting. We'll just go to a preset loadout. So we're gonna go with the M4 and the Para 9 first.
Good thing I packed my rifle, huh?
I actually haven't covered any of these maps yet, so we're gonna have to go through this together.
I can see all that stuff already.
Now, I did cover some of the guns, so the M4 is actually pretty sweet. It's insanely accurate. As you can see from like the bullet spread is pretty tight, and it's pretty linear compared to the other assault rifles where they just fire all over the place. The closest thing they can compare to is the AK, but that thing has a slower fire rate. And this fire rate is obviously much faster than it, but it obviously does less damage to compensate for balance. So I may test this gun out because I used the M4 a lot back in the days, and that was one of my favorite guns ever. The only problem with this gun is that it honestly runs out of ammo pretty quickly, but that can be compensated with boosters and mods, obviously. So this looks pretty nice. This is where all the cells are at. That's nice. You can climb this, apparently. Oh, there's an upstairs where people can fight each other in, and there's also this nice corridor for flanking purposes. I assume. I saw a rope somewhere over here, so I assume that you can swing. Nope, doesn't look like it. There are a couple ropes over here. They're all attached to the trees.
Good.
That's pretty nice.
Good.
Now I hate that part. I actually hate that when the apex point of your rope swing doesn't completely reach that. So I don't know about that. You may have to, for that rope swing point, you may have to go at midpoint to swing yourself over to the edge there.
No escaping me this time.
And ooh, there's a well down here. This was actually one of the first treasure spots. For those of you who played the campaign, one of the first treasures is initially under a well. So this actually is pretty cool that you can go under here, because now people can flank and you don't know where they're actually coming from. And you can still climb it up instead of climbing out of the well. Did I visit the spot yet? Yes, I visited that spot. So that's the middle courtyard. I'm assuming that's where all the gunfights are probably going to be in regular team deathmatch, of course. And there's a bell over here. Obviously, it's because of a prison breakout. And there's a hole down here that you can fall through. And there's also another hole over here. So this obviously represents a prison breakout of some kind. So looks pretty nice so far. It's very compacted in some areas, so very tight corners and a lot of close spaces. So for a lot of your gunfights, so it's gonna be a lot of close range battles, I assume. There's a slide down here. I'm gonna try and get over there and see where that actually comes from. It's obviously down here. Slide down here is for flanking maneuvers, I assume, for just a quick escape route. For the Para 45, or not 45, the Para 9, let's see how this pistol is. It's a pretty darn slow fire rate, if I'm completely honest with you. It's a little faster than the Agawal 40, but I'm not sure what the damage I'll put in this thing, because I've never actually played someone online with this thing, and I never actually used it, so I'm going to have to test it out and see how it compares to the other pistols. And hey, if it's a decent pistol, I may actually put it into my pistol only loadout. So can't wait to try that. You do have to. It's another one of those guns where you have to time your trigger finger. It's a very arithmetic press. So you can't just keep mashing the damn thing. Like right now, I'm just mashing it, and it's not going as fast as if you would actually press it. Blind fire seems okay with this thing. Although, if you know me personally, any gun that has an insane fire rate is pretty much scares the hell out of me in terms of blind firing. So I just want to keep aware of that. Because blind fire looks pretty tight, even from this angle over here. So, just be careful out there. For those of you who despise blind firing. We're now gonna switch to the other guns, because we're just gonna jump off the cliff and kill ourselves, and then switch to another loadout.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that this actual ledge is over here, so there's an extra one where you can possibly hide or something, if you're, like, the captain on it, I don't know. Let's see, the other one is the Pack 80. So let's see what this gun is like. From what I hear, it's a slower version of the stoner gun. Like, wow, look at that huge freaking clip capacity. Like, it doesn't even fill up just yet. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, the recoil is definitely all over the place if you're just standing still. But from what I saw with the gun, if you actually take cover with it, it can become slightly more accurate, and you can actually still control the recoil with this gun. So the recoil is kind of all over the place if you strafe with it, or if you move around with it. So I don't know about this gun. I don't know. I don't even know what the damage output of this thing is going to be, but this thing has a huge clip capacity. I mean, it's gonna have the biggest clip capacity of any generic weapon in the game at this point. Because as you saw before, for all the bullets, it only took up half of the entire clip capacity. I mean, it is a freaking LMG after all. Blind fire is honestly not that ideal unless you put a mod onto it, so I don't know, I'll have to test this gun. First impressions, it looks alright, but I don't know how it's gonna be that influential in from people using it online, so let's just see. For the 9mm, let's see. Oh my goodness, okay, that is actually insane. That is actually insane for the fire rate of a pistol. The recoil is fairly controllable also. So I don't know. Obviously any high fire rate weapon is gonna get resort to blind fire by noobs in this game, so
Outgoing! Oh shit.
First impressions of the pistol actually look pretty good. But you know, any high fire rate weapon pretty much scares me to death in terms of people blind firing it, of course. Pretty narrow, excuse me, pretty tight blind fire accuracy if you just take a cover and you just blind fire from cover. So, but yeah, I actually like this pistol. I never back in the old days, I pretty much never used the 9mm as a primary, so I always used the semi-auto version of it. That gun was a beast back in the day. So far so good. I mean, well, we're obviously gonna have to play more of this map just to get used to all the flanking routes and how people tend to play on this map. Also, but first impressions look alright. So now, I guess we can cover Trainwreck, and then afterwards I think we can go into co-op and see what the hell they've done there. Oh man, this is gonna be a long stream, because there's so much to cover here. Oh shoot, I forgot to show off the Desert 5. Okay, don't worry, I'll remind myself
consider
of
us
that.
equal partners.
I really wish some of the cinematic effects were actually put into the game. Because I know the village, they took the tank out, and
But the rest of me says, kick these guys' asses.
And from what it looks like, okay, here's the thing. From what I first see, that car and that rail track over there, that definitely was not in the game. That definitely was not in the original Trainwreck map. It's definitely not as snowy or as blurry vision as in the other one. If I remember correctly, one of these cars, as the game progresses, one of these cars actually gets knocked over by another train car, and directly under it was an RPG, so they obviously took that out, which is a shame, but Naughty Dog excuses galore, right? So I'm assuming everything in this map looks eerily similar. There's a whole bunch of green flares on the map too, which is pretty weird. I don't think there were flares on the other map, were there? Or at least there certainly weren't green. If there were flares, I'm assuming they were the generic red color. Okay, so now there's a rope swing that you can easily get on top of the train car. Some people, a lot of people used to use one of the snipers out of the FAL or the sniper to snipe people over here, because it's so hard to see in the old freaking map. So another rope here. Oh, and I thought there would be a propane tank on this map, because there were 1 or 2 propane tanks, so that was a bummer. Because propane tanks are life. Propane tanks are the shit. So, looks pretty good. I mean, if you haven't played any of the other Uncharted games, you're probably at a disadvantage against some of the old Uncharted veterans who have a much better idea of how to maneuver around this map. So, yeah, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like visuals. It looks awesome. They definitely took out some of the train cars over here, on the cliffside over here. And they added a power line over there, also. I don't know, this was actually, according to a lot of the Uncharted community, this was actually one of the most hated maps, because it was so hard to see and all. Because I never actually played this map a lot, so. Well, but it's still good to be there, I suppose. And honestly, oh, I need to collect some cash because I think I really want to show off the Desert Eagle real quick because that's the one weapon I haven't showed yet, and it's stupid that it has to be a purchasable. No new boosters also, but when I cover co-op, you're gonna see all the boosters there. It's gonna be pretty interesting. So honestly, we're just honestly waiting for the cash strip to reach around 700 or so, then we can go collect something. Then we can go buy the Desert Eagle. So, but in the meantime, let's see what else we missed on my notes here that I want to mention. So we're just gonna mention some of the bug fixes here. The fixing issue was with not loading games into games properly. So for those of you who are still stuck on the black screen, that they probably fixed that. Saviors no longer stand idle while their owner is being choked by a hunter. So for those of you who are wondering why your savior was acting like a fucking idiot when you were being choked by a hunter, they've actually fixed that. They will actually do something now. Fixed an issue with being unable to activate some mysticals after purchasing while dead. Plunder spawn weight adjustments, so they're gonna fix where the treasure's gonna spawn in plunder. Team colors now appear properly for all clients in a private match. I don't know. I don't play a lot of private matches, but hey, for those of you wondering. Fixed the radar image for village. Fixed radar when spectating a teammate. Fixed an issue with sounds persisting after a game has finished. Fixed an exploit on the level options. And that's all of them. Yep, that's all of them, so. But I'm really gonna have to test this gun because it's so accurate too. And it doesn't need a scope obviously, and you can't scope in with this gun. But I'm very interested to see how this gun is actually going to look. So. That car definitely wasn't there, like I mentioned before. Visual-wise, it looks awesome. It looks like there's a bridge that you can walk over from these 2 points. The flaming tank is still there on the side. The train cars are where they're supposed to be, so that's good. Some of them have new openings to accommodate for, to accommodate for this new game. I don't think there was anything missing over here. There's definitely not a flaming crate over here, but that's just for aesthetic purposes. And we've reached 700 now, so let's just jump off a cliff here and switch to the Desert Eagle loadout. And I don't know why it's associated with the T90 because that gun
was
is
just
a
my
fucking
rough draft.
cancer still. So let's just see how this gun looks when we use it. Wonder what the damage output of this thing's going to be, but by the looks of things, wait, let me talk real quick. That gun looks freaking sweet there, though. Because Desert Eagle, I used that a lot too back in the day. The OG Desert Eagle, it's pretty much it's always the 2-shot kill pistol of this game. The 2-shot kill pistol of this game is the Barak now, so let's just see what the hell they did to this. So, I don't know. By the looks of things, obviously the clip capacity of this gun is increased, so that you can hold 10 rounds per minute. But it's also pretty good. In terms of fire rate wise, it's pretty decent. The recoil is also pretty manageable, and it's way better than the Barak's recoil, I can tell you that much. For those of you that actually use the Barak. Oh, there's a hole down here. I don't believe that was there before either. But I don't honestly use purchasable weapons. I don't use heavy weapons, so I'm not going to honestly miss using the Desert Eagle because that's just not how I play this game. So that's all for the competitive shit, I think. So now I guess the last thing we need to do is to cover co-op. And boy, it's a freaking doozy. I can tell you that much. There's a lot of stuff to unlock in co-op. So now, in the bottom of the screen here, you can actually switch between co-op survival and just competitive multiplayer from one button here. And there's a survival store now. So now there's a one-use booster chest over here. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know how else you can unlock them unless you progress through the game and level up in co-op. For loadouts, there are gonna be you are going to need to unlock loadout points as you progress through co-op. But here are all the boosters, and these are the ones that I unlock because they are DLC. So these are the ones that are on by default. So let's see how they look. Speed EG increases maximum run speed by 30%. Number of hits to KO enemies with regular melee reduced by 1. Level 3. So yeah, if you didn't see the Naughty Dog Twitch stream, they added the melee system in single player onto co-op, which is nice. You can also play as either heroes or villains. I think that's random, just like any other of the multiplayers. Gear Master, throw gear while rolling. Cash bonus from gear chaos is worth 100% more. Throw gear 25% forward. Hold 4 additional pieces of gear. Earn gear 20% faster. Down but not out. Okay. That's pretty much the exact same thing. Helping hand revive allies. Okay, this is probably the ones that is going to be the most important because when you move up the difficulty, reviving allies. From what I see, reviving allies is going to be super freaking important, especially if you can revive to the full health. So I am definitely going to be trying unlocking those. Deadeye, headshot damage increase, headshot KO bonus. That's good for those of you who have awesome freaking aim and like to hunt headshots. Rope Master still in here. That's pretty interesting. Earn an 80% cash bonus for chaos while on a rope and use in a heavy weapon or that's level 2. Combat revive is still there. It's pretty much the exact same thing. You are healed to full health after reviving a teammate. That could be useful with helping hand. Increase health regeneration speed by 30%. That's also going to be pretty useful. So you can get your health faster when you're about to die, especially on the harder difficulties. Explosive Masters explosive damage reduced by 20%. That's not bad. Taunt of Asgard. This is actually pretty funny. Briefly activate the Shield of Asgard when you taunt. The shield lasts 5 seconds unless the taunt ends earlier. So I'm assuming it has the shield properties when you taunt for some reason. I don't know why you would taunt in co-op, but that's for those of you who like to do that sort of thing. So you'll probably just take less damage for 5 seconds when until your taunt wears off. Radar is pretty much the same thing. Gunslinger is pretty much the same thing. Hardened 2 is pretty much the same thing. Lock and load, KOing NPC points at 30%, clip immediately into the weapons clip. Because NPCs don't drop ammo. You have to actually buy ammo if you watch the Twitch stream. Gifting could be pretty useful as a good team booster. Like someone on the team, like one person on the team can be gifting people left and right so that they don't have to buy grenades or buy mines, C4s, all that all the time. Undisturbed, probably not going to be very useful. Silent Assassin is different from the multiplayer one. NPCs lose awareness for you for 4 seconds. This is level 2, by the way. For 4 seconds, whenever you get a KO, attack an enemy will engage awareness. Cooldown of 10 seconds between use. That's pretty interesting. I don't know if it'll be any useful though, because I guess it could be useful for harder difficulties, but 4 loadout points is kind of stretching it a little bit. And Weapon Expert is pretty much the same thing. So obviously there are no custom loadouts no custom weapons for you to use, but you can buy them in the in-game store, obviously. Few unlocks now. Player buffs. Every time you every time you level up, you get a player buff, so you basically do more damage, and your health gets slightly increased every single time. It doesn't stack though, so when you go up to level 2, it'll only increase you by 2% and not like 2 plus 1%. So keep that in mind. Well, pretty much all the guns from the competitive multiplayer are also in here, so every single one of them are here. The level weapons, they drop from killing the pirate bosses during every 10 waves. A boss will spawn, and every time you kill them, they'll drop something like this. So I guess it's sort of their loot system that they put in there, like for those of you who actually played the disgrace of a game called Destiny. So on crushing difficulty though, that's gonna be pretty freaking hard though, because I can't wait to play it on crushing, because I'm probably going to end up failing this a bunch of times. But hey, you can't have success without failure, right? So yeah, all the pistols are in the game too. Only grenades, mines, and C4s are in here. Because no med packs are in here, and no smoke grenades are also in here. So those are the ones that are missing. What else did they miss here? El Dorado, Indra, Spirit of the Jinn, Shinamanis. Now I don't know. Now they don't have mods, I don't think, for these mysticals. Unless you buy them from the in-game store, I think. Because if you use Shintamani, the Shintamani, do they revive to full health from a distance, or do they just go back to like what, 20 or 30% health? That could be interesting. One person can definitely use the shield, but I think the El Dorado is going to be the most useful, to be honest with you. That or the Shintamani stones in clutch situations. And oh yeah, I don't have the ARX a lot, obviously. But yeah, all the heavy weapons are in here also, every single one of them. Boosters, you have to unlock while playing. And loadout points are obviously unlocked through playing, so... Wait, let me see how many loadout points you can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You unlock 15 loadout points, and you start with 5, so you're gonna have 20 loadout points essentially. If you fully level up while playing co-op, which is gonna take a while, I can tell. So for matchmakings, there is a hardcore now, not just crushing difficulty. Hardcore is playing all 10 stages straight. Play all 10 stages straight. Failing a stage or leaving a match will mean starting from the beginning. And I do not know what that is at the bottom there. It says complete the run to get that. I'm assuming it's like a medal of some kind. So that could be interesting. Obviously, the more stars you earn, the more shit you unlock. So I don't exactly know how you get stars. I'm assuming like completing the stage within a certain amount of time. I'm assuming that's the case. So let's just say I want to do this on hard. For matchmaking, you obviously need to complete the entire wave here, and yeah, that's what I expected. You get stars by completing this thing in a certain amount of time. So 3 minutes and 30 seconds to complete it on what difficulty? On hard. So that is pretty hard. So we're gonna need some pretty good teamwork there to get through this. Stages 6 through 10, I obviously haven't played one match of this, but I will pretty soon. But I think that's it for the patch. So hopefully I covered everything. If I didn't cover everything, I'll probably put the link to all the patch notes in the description below. So thanks for watching, and a couple last minute announcements before I end this video. There are going to be 2 videos after this that are going to be uploaded. One is another Rampant, and another one is going to be probably for classic mode, late uploads because I've been pretty busy lately. So I haven't time to upload videos very recently. So hopefully I can catch up on that. So that's gonna be the end of this video. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So I will see you guys online and catch you all later. Peace out.